We back. January 1998, there was a show which I'm sure a lot of you will remember called Celebrity Deathmatch. Creator of the TV show, Eric Fogel, with the voices of Len Maxwell as Nick Diamond and Maurice Schleifer as Johnny Gomez, made up the cast. You may also remember The Undertaker and Steve Austin making appearances too.
Hey, what up, people?
More recently, MTV had an article saying that it was coming back to the airwaves. On April 14th this year, they posted a news snippet stating it was coming back to life, with tweets from Mr. Fogel himself appearing here and there wherever Celebrity Deathmatch was mentioned. This is really good news for all you budding fans out there. Unfortunately, the TV show hasn't always brought the best of the best along with it, and a great example of this is the video game. It was released in 2003 between the 4th and 5th season of the show. The game was a flop, even though it was released on PlayStation, PS2, Xbox and PC. It's such a shame considering it was made by Gotham Games, which at the time was owned by Take-Two Interactive, publishers of great games like Civilization and Hidden and Dangerous.
Who knew this was going to happen? I knew this was going to happen.
Then again, this was when the show had been cancelled and had a new cast of voice talent when it was revived in 2006. I'll leave it to Mills Lane to take us to the next section.
I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on!
If I had to compare this game to something, I'd say it was probably the equivalent of having quite a nice 3-tier wedding cake filled with poison, daggers and dead puppies.
Tonight, Celebrity Deathmatch.
The cast of characters is really small, and whilst there are unlockable players, it's not worth the time and effort you have to put in to get them. The main ones you can select are Carmen Electra, Busta Rhymes, Mr. T, Cleo, and Marilyn Manson, all with their own moves and taunts in the game. I guess when they were going to the other celebrities, they knew better than to put their name against such a terrible game. There are some unexpected bonuses, like Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, and an alien. I don't remember the alien in any episode, but there was a Halloween show that had a battle against Wolfman and Frankenstein's monster. I'm a bit of a stickler of people calling the monster Frankenstein, so I was disappointed to see that it's labelled that on the character selection screen, but when he's introduced in the ring, Johnny Gomez puts it right. You can also play as Nick Diamond and Johnny Gomez, but it confused me when they started commentating on their own matches. There are a few added bonuses to the character roster using cheats. You can play as the Director of Technology at Corsoft, Chris Harvey, President and CEO, Dave Connolly, Lead Programmer, Martin Jijan, I thought that was a typo when it came up on the screen, and the ever-lovable Xzibit the Dummy. I have no idea where he comes from. When it comes to playing the game, it feels as though you're playing underwater as the actual characters themselves. The controls are unresponsive and the collision detection can be way off. If you're hit by an enemy, you better be prepared for them to hit you quite a few times, taking most of your health away before you can even respond. Button bashing became my strategy, and it worked quite well as Frankenstein's monster. Pushing up an attack gives you some kind of spinning attack that left the opponent unable to respond. Most of the time they just blocked until they gave up and went to the ground. I found this was the only way to defeat all the enemies, and even then I lost a few times. It seemed to take your character so long to get up off the ground, and so there I was button bashing until my character came back to life. I needed to take a few more hits because they were staring at someone with a cheeseburger in the crowd. After a short while I used this as an advantage and started standing behind my opponent instead of standing up so I could immediately grapple them and take them down. If you were looking for a nice bit of gore, then you will be disappointed. The worst it gets is you can get a black eye. Of course, being the PlayStation 1 game, there will be some restrictions, but when you consider what the game lacks and the fact that the PS2 version had limbs flying everywhere, It really makes you wonder what is taking up so much space on that disc. It certainly isn't the graphics, which I can't really find any comparison to. The South Park game that came out 4 years earlier looked better. It was blocky and tacky, but that added to its charm. When you compare this game to the PS2 version, sure, it's not going to look as glamorous, but you'd expect at least a diet version of it. The game looks like someone saw the PS2 version and, on a budget of about 20 quid, $30 for all you Americans, remade it and spent most of the money at Subway. It does make me laugh how Mills Lane looks as though he's just shat himself after each match. The most notable part of the game is the music and commentary, especially when you get into the ring. There's background music in the main menu, which you may recognise from the game, but once you've left that, it all goes a bit quiet.
The fighters!
When you're fighting, it sometimes feels like there's going to be some tumbleweed rolling past. It would have made such a difference to add some kind of rocky music in the background. That's not what I meant, but there could have been something worse. When the characters are introduced into the ring, they always have the same blurb from Johnny Gomez, which makes it especially noticeable when two players are the same character. Can't help thinking that a little bit of imagination would have gone far here. The characters themselves have taunts, but they're pretty annoying. Having the camera zoom in on that character making it damn near impossible for the other player to know where they are. The commentary features lines like, the lack of different commentary doesn't really bother me since I was button bashing so loudly and shouting at the TV I didn't hear them, and soon started putting something else on in the background to take my mind off the mind-numbing boredom and frustration I was experiencing. I'll leave it on a high note. There are different levels you can choose from, like Steel Cage, Cemetery, and Tough Man, which is just a smaller ring. It's like having some sparkly glitter on your turd. Enough said. On the crapometer, I'd give this game a 6 out of 10. It's playable, as long as you've got the patience and have time to replay what feels like the same levels over and over again to win such great bonuses like the finishing moves and, well, I think that's about it. There are far worse games out there and you can pick this up for about £4 on eBay, but I'd suggest paying the same amount, or probably less in fact, for the PlayStation 2 version. Anyway, thanks for watching, catch you next time.
Good fight, good night.